I'm a scat man.
Hey YouTube, this is Get Over here coming at you with a Glyphs, Talents, and Macros video for my 90 Frosty K in Mista Pandaria 5.3. Reason I'm doing this, I'm going to be putting out a lot of PvP and raid videos soon, so I thought I'd show you what I use so you have an idea of what's going on for future videos. So let's get into it. Start with, for talents, I use Unholy Blight. The other two, pretty useless. Rolling Blood's good for blood spec, but don't really use that anymore unless you're tanking, because they killed tanks in RBGs. Second tier, I use Lichborne. For raiding, I'll use any magic zone, obviously to help mitigate raid damage. For PvE, I will use Death's Advance. For PvP, I will use Chillblains for RBGs and Asphyxiate for arenas for obvious reasons. The Chillblains, you can slow everybody, Asphyxiate's good, a nice quick cooldown stun. In this tree, I use Death Pact. A lot of people use Conversion. I'm just not a big fan of Conversion. I don't like using the extra runic power. Death Pact is great because it's a nice, get out of jail quick button. If you're going down, you can get 50% of your health back in an instant cast. Plus there's a really good macro you can use for it too, for PvP. In this tree, I use Runic Empowerment. Sometimes I'll go Runic Corruption. I just don't feel that it keeps the runes up enough. I think Runic Empowerment keeps them up a lot better. In the 90 tree, I use Remorseless Winter or Desecrated Ground for arenas. It just depends on the comp we're going up against and who I'm playing with at that time. RBGs, it'll 90% of the time be Gorefiends Grasp. Even though they did nerf it, you can only grip in 4 players at a time now, which is kind of lame, but still really useful. In Glyphs, for the majors, I use Glyph of Strangulate, obviously to keep a caster, more particularly a healer, silenced for longer. Anti-Magic Shell, definitely a must. Absorbs all incoming magical damage up to 50% of your health. For this one, I use Glyph of Shifting Presences for arenas, because obviously you'll be switching your presences quite often to try and mitigate damage. You can also replace that with the Death Grip Glyph for RBGs, so you have an extra 5 yards to pull people in, being that you're the target caller most of the time you're trying to grip your target in. So that's definitely really useful. For macros, oops, give me 1 second here. Macros, first one I use is Death Grip and Outbreak. You can also replace the Outbreak with Chains of Ice. I just feel it's personal preference. I like having my diseases up on my target as soon as it gets to me. The next one I use is for RBGs. When I'm spec'd into Gorefiends Grasp, I'll have both the Gorefiends Grasp and this macro on my bar. The reason being is when you can target someone else and hit Gorefiends and pull them all to your target, or with this one it'll just cast it on yourself and pull the targets to you. So it's really situational, but it's definitely nice to have, so that way you don't have to try and target yourself quickly and do that Gorefiends Grasp. Next one I use is the Lichborne Deathcoil. What this will do is it'll put Lichborne up on you, and then it'll also cast Deathcoil onto you, which will heal you when you've turned undead from Lichborne. The 2 great things about this is, one is obviously it'll break any fear, charm, or sleep, but it'll also heal you as soon as you break that. And if you have enough runic power, you can spam it and it'll actually heal you up. This is the Raise Dead Death Pact macro. All it does is it raises your pet and then automatically does Death Pact to give you that 50%. Pretty useless for PvE. It's really only good for PvP because it'll give you that instant heal. Next one is my shift modifier for Strangulate and Mind Freeze. So if I hit my middle mouse button, it'll Strangulate. If I shift middle mouse, it'll Mind Freeze. Just gives a little extra bar space, and I don't have to keybind 2 different abilities. I can just put them on one. This is my pillar / trinket macro. This one is specifically for PvP. It'll cast Pillar of Frost. It'll use my PvP trinket, and it'll also use my Blood Fury, which is the Orc racial, and it'll also use my engineering gloves. So it's your time to kill somebody button, so to speak. This is the one that I will use for PvE. It uses my engineering gloves, cast Pillar of Frost, and cast the Blood Fury, but instead it'll also cast the Raised Dead, because when you pop all your damage cooldowns, your pet actually receives the extra damage bonus as well. So you want to always put those before you summon your pet, so that way he gets the extra damage as well. Another good macro that I use from time to time in PvP is just putting together Icebound Fortitude and Anti-Magic Shell. It just pops both of them at the same time to help mitigate as much damage as humanly possible. Definitely good for those oh crap moments in arenas. It's really up to you. I just got turned on to it. Still don't know if I like it yet. I don't use it enough, I don't think. But it does come in handy from time to time. Other than that, the last one that I use, this is more for PvE. What this macro does is when you have your pet out and attacking, from my understanding, your pet doesn't do his claw ability, his damage ability enough by default. So what this macro does is it forces it to claw as you're hitting your Frost Strike. So that way you make sure you get that extra damage out of him while he's up. Other than that, that should do it. Those are my talents, glyphs, and macros. Key bindings, they're really personal to the player. It's really how your play style is. Mine's a little bit wacky. I can cover those in another video if you'd like. Just put that in the comment. Other than that, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to put them in the comments. Like this video, and I will see you guys soon with PvP and PvE videos. Take care.